Hey babe, I just went live. Bum, 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 bum. All right. Let's put this over here. All right, let's go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Rubber Duck Thursdays. I'm Kadesha. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hey, so let me know where you're joining from. I'm in Chicago. It's pretty beautiful outside, a nice summer day. But I haven't done one of these streams in a while because it's been a lot of traveling for conferences. But hi. If this is your first time joining, Rubber Duck Thursday is a stream that we do about 3 times a day for different time zones. And essentially, we just work and hack and vibe with AI, building products and just talking. And I'm here to answer questions that you may have. So today, I would love to show you a project I've been working on. So about 4 months ago, I built an app called I called it Quibbit. I'm just gonna stop the music there. I called it Quibbit, and essentially, so the issue I have is I always save all my links on my phone. Literally, I just send a message to myself to save any type of link I would like to save from the web, but then I go back to it and I can't find anything in my notes app, right? So I built an app to solve that problem and I called it Quibbit, but I never finished it. So I built it 4 months ago and then that was it. The adrenaline was over and it was finished. So today I want to get back into that app and do some updates. So I have a list of updates in my notes that I need to make. And Yeah, so let me just pop this over my other screen and I'll start sharing my screen. So I'll see that a lot of you are joining from Seattle. We have India, we have the USA, of course, joining in from Barbados. Hey, Brazil, Arizona. Wow, lots of you here today. Welcome to the stream. Yours for Android. Yes, so I am an Android girly actually. I am actually an Android girly, so I used React Native to build the app, so it's cross-platform, of course, because I'm inclusive. Inclusivity in apps is very important. London, UK, Deutschland, welcome, welcome, welcome. So let's get right into the building, right? Let's get right into what you came for, the rubber ducking. So let me just share my screen. And before we get into that, I wanted to ask you, have you been seeing the bits about context engineering? Have you been seeing this thought process about context engineering? Because lately I've been seeing it everywhere. Let me know if you can see my screen, or if I need to zoom in a little bit more. I'm just going to choose this ducky here so it looks a little better. Pull up my comments. Right. So I've been hearing a lot about context engineering, which is essentially providing a large language model, or like your AI assistant, with enough context to do what you need it to do. That's essentially the idea. So it's like a bracket idea, and then prompt engineering is within context engineering and all that jazz. But I feel like, it does work better. It does sound better. Um but I feel like that's always been the case for prompt engineering. In order to get the results you want, you have to provide enough context, but having a name to it helps. So, this blog post that was just released on GitHub's blog is actually really good because it talks about going beyond prompt crafting. Like how you can be a better partner with your AI assistants, because AI assistants is not going to go anywhere. And much like context engineering, this blog post talks about how context is key, right? So this is something I would encourage you to go ahead and read. I'm just going to pop the link here for you to see. Sorry, I did not create a short link before this. But if you go on the GitHub blog, you'll be able to see that. Yes, very interesting, right, Lasha? Like, yeah, context engineering has been very interesting. So that's one thing I wanted to share with you. Something else I wanted to share with you was this context engineering guide by Prompt Engineering Guide is actually very useful. So you know how I was talking about context engineering is the overarching theme, and then within it, you have RAG, you have prompt engineering, structured output, state, history, and memory. So I think that's the idea that's been floating around recently, and I do like it. I do like it a lot, but I encourage you to take a look at these readings. Now for the app, right? So the app is called Quibbit. And essentially, Quibbit allows you to save and organize the content that you have across the web. So you can save and categorize links, record voice notes. Not yet, but I do plan to implement that soon. It syncs across your device. I have Supabase as the database, and it also works offline. And you can search your saved content. So let's get into that. So the first thing I wanted to do was I wanted to start with this voice recording feature. So and what I wanted to do was I wanted to assign this issue to Copilot Coding Agent. I haven't had a chance to play with the coding agent on github.com yet, so I figured today would be possibly a good day to do that. Let's see what happens. So this is the issue that I have. It essentially says the screen record.tsx currently shows coming soon. Implement the voice recording functionality to allow users to record audio and receive full transcription of what they record. That's all I'm going to put into the issue. And I popped in this design that I got from Claude. If you didn't know, Claude is A plus when it comes to doing like a mock-up, like a low fidelity, or even like something like this for your app. And so I'm just going to pop that design into here, and I'm going to come here and I'm going to assign this issue to Copilot for it to go ahead and work on that while I work on something else. So as you can see by the eyeballs, Copilot already started working on the voice recording implementation, in this work in progress pull request. So it's going to be working on that while I work on something else. I'm going to just pop this down, and here is the app. So I already have it running. So this is Quibbit, right? So Quibbit, as I said, you can save links and thoughts, add notes, search transcript, access everything offline. It is React Native, and I use Expo to get everything running. You can choose categories. You can add a new category here. I'm going to call this one Ducky since it's Rubber Duck Thursdays. It'll pop up here, and it will also be saved in your categories list. So this is what the app looks like. So I can come in here and I can, add a title. I could say like RDT for Rubber Duck Thursdays, and I can say like remember to stream. Because honestly, 1 p.m. came so quickly for me today. Let me find a link that I can use really quickly. 1 p.m. came so quickly for me today, so this reminder definitely needed. So I'm just gonna copy that link here, and I'm gonna pop it here. It says it's not a valid link. Why is it not a valid link? Ooh, did we discover the first yeah. So we discovered a bug here. Invalid URL format. This is definitely a proper URL format. So I'm not sure why all of a sudden it's saying that. Interesting. So this is something I can solve right now. So let's fix this using agent mode. So I'm going to pop in here. Can you see my screen? Is it too small for you? Let me know in the comments. I'm happy to zoom in a bit more. Let's hide this. Boop. Okay, I'm gonna assume that you can see my screen. So that's the app. We're gonna solve this bug here. Okay, so this is the page. So you can save, edit, delete, then you can see it. This is the recording page where I said what I just assigned to Copilot Coding Agent. So I'm curious to see what it does. This is the notes section where you can just typically I always text myself just like little notes or thoughts that I have. So I figured I can add this into Quibbit as well. So that's the notes section. Nothing super crazy happening here. And then this is the settings page where you can manage your categories, all that jazz. So there are quite a few bugs in the app. So we're going to work on some today. The first one is going to be that one that we just found where it's telling us that this is an invalid URL format. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create or like start a new chat, make sure I'm an agent. And I've been loving using Claude Sonnet 4. So let's see how Claude performs here. So I'm going to take a screenshot actually of this error message. And I'm just going to pop it in there so that Copilot has that context. And I'm going to say, when I try to add a valid URL, I see this message. Why? Help me figure this out. And I'm just going to say URL for reference. So this is the URL I tried to add. I'm just going to give it that as a reference. Okay. And it's going to be in the add link component. This is the link form. So I'm just going to open up the link form so it has it as context right there. And I'm going to send. Hello from Stockholm. Zoom, please. Okay, no problem. Let me know if that's better. So let me just close here. Great. So I can see you're getting an invalid URL format error when trying to add a valid URL. Yep. Looking at your link form. So the regex was too restrictive. Yeah. And doesn't properly handle URLs with query parameters like YouTube URLs. Exactly. That's exactly what was happening. So it's going to update the very restrictive regex for me. All right. So I already implemented the solution. Basic host invalidation must have at least one dot invalid characters. All right. Processed lowercase starts with okay, here it is. Oh, so you completely remove the regex. I mean, I don't think I want to completely remove that. Remove restricted regex. The native URL constructor is much more reliable for URL validation. Okay. Let's hit keep and give it a go. So maybe I should restart the app. Yep, there we go. So we no longer see that error, right? So stream RDT, so I can save that. Remember to go live. And just like that, the bug is resolved. How amazing is that? So I'm just gonna call this like video save. And now, I save my links, right? Nothing crazy. I can toggle this to show the notes that I added for each link. And so that's essentially the app. Quibbit, that's essentially the app, but I keep saving all my links in my notes and I can't find it. And actually, Tarika, who joined us, I just saw a LinkedIn post that she made, and she's building the same app, which is incredible. So that's one bug already solved. And as you know, I like to say stage and commit. Make sure you're staging and commit every little thing that you do. VS Code actually makes it so easy because you can just click on this sparkle button and get a commit message very quickly. And it's usually very detailed. Sometimes I'll delete some of the stuff that it says, but these very detailed commit messages have come in so handy. I can't even tell you how many times they've come in handy. And I just realized I'm on the main branch. So let's actually create a new branch. And I'm just going to call this bugs. All right. So let's fix another bug, right? Let's fix another bug. So I have a bunch written down in my notes. So the second thing I wanted to show you was, so there's a new feature in VS Code where you can automatically add custom instructions for GitHub Copilot. So if you have a current project, like the way I have that it's already designed, it's already being built actively, you can have GitHub Copilot generate an instruction file for you if you don't have one. So I have a pretty basic one here, but I'm going to delete it. I'm just going to move that to trash real quick. And I'm going to commit it so that Copilot doesn't get confused. I'm just going to remove it temporarily. That was spelled incorrectly. It's okay. So what you do is you come here, click on these three dots here. So you click on the three dots here, and then you do configure instructions. Isn't that so cool? And then create new instructions file here. Press enter, enter. And something should happen. Nothing happened. Let's try it again. Create new instructions file. Yeah, here. Enter the name of the instructions file. Oh, right. I didn't do that. Reading is fundamental, folks. Okay, so that's the name of the instructions file. And let's see what it did. Apply to all. It didn't do it. That is not what I expected. Huh. Let's try it again. I've never tried this before, so I'm just trying it with you. I thought it would work, but yeah, that is not what I expected. So I don't know if it's user error. I don't know if it's user error, but this is not working out the way that I wanted to. So I'm just gonna go ahead. Okay, so this is just like Copilot next edit suggestions, making some suggestions for instructions that we can have, but that's not what I was expecting, honestly. So I was expecting something that looks like, let me show you. In this blog post, Christopher had this really great example. So this is the name of the app, what the app does. The back end, you have some instructions, the front end, some instructions, code standards, project structure. That's what I was expecting, but that did not happen. So yeah, we're just going to skip that. And I know I can undo a commit and get the file back, but this is just easier. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna copy the instructions file I had before and, move this to trash. I saw a question, are you from Barbados? I'm not from Barbados, I'm from Jamaica. I hear the accent my family's from Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, I'm Jamaican, so that's probably the accent that I'm hearing. And if you have questions while I'm going through this, just let me know. Okay, so I'm just gonna add the instructions I had before because ain't nobody got time for that. So I'm just gonna add. And then once I figure that out, I will, do it again next week so you can see what's going on. So initially I was using async storage during the MVP for the app, but we're actually using Superbase. And these are not the best instructions, usually I have like a lot more stuff in here, but I was going pretty fast and I'm just going to keep it. I'm just going to keep it. It's okay. Boop boop. Stage and commit always, always. Okay, so let's keep going. What's the next thing that you want to show? So the feature that I wanted to implement, Copilot Coding Agent is working on that. There was an error message I noted here where it says invalid date. Let's see if we can have agent mode fix that for us. So I'm just gonna again take a picture. This is my new way of like solving small UI bugs. I literally just take a screenshot and just send it over to the agent because it gives it that context, especially since it has vision. Why not? So I'm gonna say here the date on the note. I'm just gonna say please update. As you can see, I just speak regular English. Watch every screenshot you drop into da da da. Or to build a visual. Push. Okay, that's quite long to read. Okay, please don't spam the chat. Thank you. Can anyone paste the link to the blog post? Yes. If you go to the GitHub blog, actually, I didn't create a short link and that's on me. But if you go to the GitHub blog, it's going to be right here on the main page. Beyond prompt crafting. And I'll pop the link in here again for you to see. Okay, so the problem is how the date is being handled. Awesome. So it's read use notes.tx. And so this was where the issue was. So instead of using created_add, created at, I'm pretty sure this is what's in my DB. Yep. There we go. And so that should resolve it. Let's reload and see if anything happens here. That's also another bug. Every time I log in, still says invalid here. But let's try adding another note. Maybe those notes are just doomed. Let's try adding another one and see if anything's going on. Just now. Okay. That's better. That's actually a lot better. So, yeah, resolved. There's a mismatch between the property names. Yeah. Thank you so much. So, I'm just going to mark these off as I go so I know what I've done. Okay, great. So, invalidate is fix, and after every fix we do a commit. And the reason I practice this is because sometimes coding assistants they go crazy and they do, or like they'll touch files that I don't want them to touch. And let's say before they did the they like went awry. I had changes that were properly working and everything was great. Once that happens and the coding agent messes up the code that's not saved, it's going to be kind of hard to remove those last changes. So I always like to just do a commit message for everything that's working. Does this have a whole backend setup or it uses Supabase? Yeah, so I'm using Supabase as the DB, and yes, there is the backend. So this is let's feed this question into the app. So I'm going to say at workspace, does this project have a backend setup or does it only use Supabase? So there is no separate backend server. It's just using Supabase. Real-time capabilities, authentication, DB storage. Supabase actually makes it really easy to just get this done, just like Firebase. It just takes care of everything for you and it's just plug and play. .git ignore. Yep, there is a git ignore file here. Do you have a question about the git ignore? Let me know. Okay, let's go back to our previous chat and keep going. So the next issue I noticed in the app was I wanted to enhance the search and filtering across both the links and the notes page. So essentially, I want to add a new use search hook for searching. So, like here, I can search. It works pretty well, but I just wanted to just be a bit more performance and more maintainable. So, let's come in here and I'm going to say, make sure that we're in agent mode here. Okay. So I want to enhance the search and filtering methods in the app across the links and notes pages. Can you add a use search hook and update the pages? The related pages. And boop, that's it. Yep, so all the hooks I'm using are here. Use links, use notes, use Supabase. This is a test, use theme color. So there's going to be a new use search hook created here. There we go. And if you notice, the Copilot is following the same like coding standards and organization that's across the app, which is very nice. Reusable search bar component. Oh, that's actually a good idea because then I can pop it on each page instead of rebuilding it all the time. But you see what I mean? That's not what I asked it to do, right? So let's say I didn't save the previous work from before. then this new work is going to be added on top of it, and it'll be difficult to parse through what's going on. I have seen some folks do like, create a document of each change that you make so I can keep track of what you're doing. And that works well too. You can add that in the instruction. No, I'm late. It's okay. We have like 30 minutes left on the stream. You're not too late. What's your GitHub? Oh yeah. So this is the project here. It's called Quibbit. So that's where you can find the project. Feel free to clone it and do what you will. Jiankuf, I think I'm going to ban you from the stream because you keep spamming the chat. Please stop doing that. 1 second. Let me go into, I think it's this one. This person here. 1 second. I'm going to mute them. Yeah. So that should help. Great. Okay, so that should help take care of that. So what's this? This person says, how scalable is it though in respect to concurrent usage and Superbase? That's a really good question. I am not thinking about scalability because I'm the only person that will be using this app. It's not something I plan to push out to the world. It's not something I plan to push out to the world. It's just something I'm building for my own. It's a personal app that I'm building. So I was not thinking about scalability and all that stuff. I wasn't thinking about it from that standpoint, but great question. I can also ask this question in Copilot in 1 second. Hold on. Is this your go-to stack for mobile development? I'll say yes. So I've used Flutter. I did a workshop last month at Render ATL where we used Flutter to build a mobile app, and then I used I built a mobile app with React Native, and I think I kind of prefer React Native. Maybe it's because I'm used to React itself. So going for and I'm also used to using TypeScript. So maybe because I'm used to those technologies, I kind of prefer React Native, but I do like using Flutter as well, and especially since it's like it's cross-platform, that's really nice. But yeah, I think this is what I'm going to be pulling for. I'm also building an app on the side that I will be showcasing for the world to use, and I'm also using React Native. So yeah, I think this is my go-to stack. Okay, I've learned from you from a course that was about full stack development on Coursera. Oh, yay! I still get messages about that course. I believe it was either 2 or 3 years ago I did that with IBM. Um, I think it was 3 years, yeah, while I was working as a software engineer, and I think I had just gotten into my role at GitHub. So I'm happy that it helped. Please, share it with anybody else who would like to learn. And the course that they're referring to is called, I think it's called Software Engineering for Everyone, where if you're interested in software engineering, you can take this course to learn about, the role and what the work looks like and stuff. Definitely will check it out. Awesome. Yeah, feel free to check out the repo. It's probably gonna be spaghetti code because the AI built, I vibe coded it with with AI. So if there are issues in the code base, fork it and use it however you please. Though GitHub Copilot and Claude, they do code pretty well. So if there are any issues, I'm curious to know. Can you share the GitHub project link? I will share that again. Yes. Does Supabase need to be installed separately, or is it bootstrapped along with the source code? Bootstrapped along with the source code. So Supabase doesn't need to be installed separately. You can integrate Supabase using the Supabase CLI, or you can, go to Supabase and create a new project and pop your project. Sorry, 1 second. And then you'll pop your project keys into your environment file and then connect it to your app that way. It's really not difficult. If you've ever used Firebase, it's a very similar setup. So you definitely have to set up your own Supabase and use your own project URL and stuff in this if you want to use it. So you also use React Native as a transfer from React. I'm using Flutter for my version to learn a bit more about it. Awesome. Yeah, it's always good to learn about new stacks. OpenAI 4.5 codes well too. I was using it for Python code for my project. Awesome. Yeah. Honestly, I haven't. I'm so biased because once I find something that I really like, I tend to stick with it. But I need to kind of get out of that and just explore more models. I mostly use Claude for coding. I also use Claude for like writing. Like I'll write something and I'll ask Claude to help me to make sense of it, but I should explore. I have used Gemini 2.5 Pro. I do find it to be so a bit verbose. I have used GPT 4o. I do like it. Sometimes I find that it will stop and not do what I wanted to do, but I haven't tried 4.1 yet. Maybe I'll try 4.1 for one of these bugs. Let's see. Claude is the best. I agree for coding, but also just Claude in general. I find that Claude does deep research very well as well. I do like how it does research when it's in that deep research mode, much more than OpenAI's models. Yes, it does. Yes. Okay, so let's see what we have here. So let's try to remember what was the problem that I had. Okay, let me close some of this stuff so we can see what's going on here. Because it looks like there's a blank page, right? So it looks like, what was the problem? Hold on. Wow, you did a bunch of work here, huh? Let's see. You did a whole bunch of work. Okay, returning invalid, please update. That's the first one we did. I'm trying to find the prompt that I just sent. Okay, so I want to enhance the search, search and filtering methods in the app across the links. Can you add a use search hook and update the related pages? Great. So that's what I wanted to do. That's quite a bit of work. So it went through and it looked through all the files. Awesome. And then it started updating with the new search functionality. Remove old styles that are no longer needed to clean up the styles section. Update the use links hook. Okay. All right, let's oh, okay. Let's see what we have here. Now let me remove the sort order type. Let me also check if there are any errors. So I was able to run these commands and to check its work. Enhance search and filtering. I've successfully created a comprehensive search and filter system for a COVID app. These are the new thing: universal search, multiple search fields, advanced sorting, smart filter, and real-time. That sounds great if it works, right? So there are 62 errors in 9 files. Let's see if it's as bad, because filtered notes has already been declared. Filtered note has already been declared. So it looks like the same error. The error is located at use links. Okay. Reference order sort order does not exist. So let's take these one at a time. So I'm going to do this. That's all I'm going to say. App doesn't load. Take a look at the error and fix it because it's a blank page. There's a variable named conflict in the notes screen. Okay, here. Just copy all the error into Copilot. Okay, so a note on this. So when I'm working with Copilot or when you're working with any AI agent, I don't like to overwhelm it with context. So I like to take a focused and very structured approach. So I like to take it one error at a time. That way it can work on only one thing because I already know that it's going to go off and work on other things. You know what I mean? So this allows me to know, okay, what was I working on? What did it do? What did I expect it to do? Let me see what it did. Will Claude create good tests? Yes, actually. Claude Sonnet is very good at coding and testing and documentation. I find it a really good peer programmer and peer programmer when doing anything related to engineering. Will GitHub add DeepSeek in its list of models? That's an excellent question. I don't know. That is beyond the scope of my knowledge. That's beyond the scope of my knowledge, but I do know that you can manage models. And I believe, so let's see, Anthropic, Azure, Cerebrus, Gemini, Olama, Open Router. So you can select a different provider and add, other models here. So I'm not sure if DeepSeek will be an option. I'm not sure. Type checking code after fixing the variable name conflict. Okay, so you're checking your work. Actually, how many of you are using Copilot for building? Are you all using it? Do you use something else? I'm so curious to know. You keep saying it's working, Claude, but all I see is a blank page. All right. Okay, the reloading has reloaded. Okey-doke. Well, let's search our brain. App test. There's no such thing as test. What else is here? Dev. All right, that seems fine. But wow, it did a lot of coding. That's the only thing I will say. Okay, so let's take a look at the code. Oh, and if you notice, I did reconfigure my terminal positioning. So usually the terminal is like down here, right? But it just felt so cramped, so I moved the terminal up here, right? I don't know if you could do that, but you can. You can like reconfigure your VS Code to your liking. It's small, kind of zoom. Yeah, yeah. I was testing the problem I have is I have a ultra wide monitor and I love my ultra wide monitor. But when I stream, that's the problem I have. So I was testing, so I changed the orientation on the screen. So I was kind of testing it today to see if it would work, but I think it's too small. I'm gonna have to use the external monitor that I have next week. So sorry about that. I did Zoom, so let me know if that helps a bit more. Okay, so where were we? Let me see what the hook looks like. So this is the new use search hook here. Nothing crazy going on. Sort options, newest, oldest, title ascending category. Search function that looks for specified fields. Apply filters, category filter, sort item. It's memoizing, which is great. Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything crazy so far. I don't see anything crazy so far. I'm trying to lean into the vibe coding mentality. I know sometimes as developers we get caught up in terminology, but honestly, it's never been a more fun time to build with these tools. And then, of course, if you want to productize your application, then you can go through and make sure that everything is secure and scalable and all that jazz. Let's see. Lately, I've been using Gemini CLI and VS Code Terminal. Ooh, while using Copilot to provide context. Brand new world. Whoa. Do you have like a video or a blog on how you're doing that? That sounds incredible. That sounds incredible. So I do use AI, but mostly for styling and better UI because I can't really put a lot of time just at the front end while having a bunch of things at the back end. Although making different hooks and so it's fun to do. Absolutely. And a styling tip I just learned. So um I'm an avid TikTok person, but something I just learned is if you know Canva, I'm just gonna pull up Canva and pull up a design. Let's say you want a modern, something that's modern, right? So I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it over here so you can see it, right? So if you go on Canva and like, let's say you want the vibe of your application to be modern, you can come in here and search for modern. And whatever vibe you like, you can take a screenshot of it and feed it into your LLM and say, this is the vibe of the app. This is the vibe I want my app to have. Implement it. And it works really well. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Let me just show you what I mean. So I know I'm also not very good at designing. So that tip was so good to me. And I pay for Canva Pro, so I don't feel bad doing this. So let's say I wanted to update what's a very simple screen? No, the screen. I mean, the screens are actually really simple, but let's update the notes page. So I can come in here and I can say, update the notes page to have the vibe of the attached image. I don't know if it understands the word vibe per se, but I tried this before and it worked really well. So I'll update the notes page to match the modern minimalist aesthetic of the attached image with clean lines. Oh no, guess what I didn't do? I did not stage and commit. Let's do that really quickly before. Ah. Okay, great. Because I don't want to keep these changes. But as you can see, it actually understood the context of the image, right? Modern, minimalist aesthetic, clean lines, elegant typography, and sophisticated color scheme. So let's see what it does. So it's working on the notes.tsx page. But let's see, but that's a tip that I learned from an engineer on TikTok and I was like, wow, that's such a great tip, especially when you're building, like your landing pages. And so typically when you build a landing page with an AI tool, it kind of looks like you built it with an AI tool. So you can take the vibe of something and say, "Hey, can you update the page to be like this?" And honestly, it works really well. Copilot is amazing. I agree. I agree. Most developers are using Copilot, which is not surprising to me because we were first to market and we've been making a lot of great improvements over the years. And the state it's in currently, especially when it comes to building with agent mode, it's just so good. Honestly, I really enjoy using it. So no videos yet. I'll try to put something together by next Thursday. Oh my goodness, that would be amazing. Because I would love to know or learn how you're using Gemini's CLI in VS Code Terminal while using Copilot to provide context. That sounds amazing. That does sound like a brand new world. Is there any MCP server for Unity? I don't know. While we're waiting on Copilot to do that, let's take it out. Let's take a look. MCP server Unity. I don't know if there's an official one, but it looks like someone created one 3 or 4 months ago. Look at that. You can check this one out. You can always ask. If ever I'm wondering something, sometimes I'll use a tool like Claude or Perplexity AI to look it up for me, especially if I feel like I won't find it. But this looks promising. It's not the official MCP server of Unity, but honestly, anyone can create an MCP server for anything. This one, 742 stars, forked 92 times. This one was created also about 4 months ago. So you can go check that out. ¿Qué hora? Wow, it's almost been an hour already. Isn't that crazy? Um, let's go back to here. Let me close this. Perfect. Okay, so as you can see in real time, oh my goodness, do I like this vibe more? Do you like this vibe more? I feel like this looks better than it did before. What do you think? I like the little color thingy on the side. I do like the brown. It does feel a lot calmer. I would love to change this blue to a different color. I'm not sure what yet. Read more? What is this read more button? Hmm? Read more goes to the edit note. That's needs to be fixed, but you see how it changed the vibe completely. Good evening. Thanks for your stream. Of course, you're welcome. Why is there no Claude for Sonnet thinking model in agent mode for future chances? Ooh, good question. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if that's on the roadmap or anything like that. Good question. Let's see. If I go to ask. Okay, so if you're in ask mode, then you have the Claude Sonnet 3.7 thinking mode. So agent mode doesn't have all the models available for like, building stuff agentically. But if you go into the ask mode, there is Claude Sonnet 3.7 thinking mode that you can use here. And there are also so many other options. There's Claude Opus 4, whoa, which uses 10x the token. So be careful there. And if I go to edit, oh, I don't want to completely change stuff, but let's create an, okay, wait. Let's look at this first before I lose the work. Oh, look at the sorting. I didn't even explore all of it. I do like that. I like that a lot. But what do you think about the vibe of the new design? I think I like it. I think I like the brown actually. So this is what this page looks like. And this is a reusable component, which is why I believe it's also brown. And this is what this page looks like. I think I like the brown. I don't know. I am perplexed. Maybe I'll stash it, and if I do like it, I will apply it across. Are you developing that mobile app? Yes, I am, along with GitHub Copilot. So this is a personal app that I'm building called Quibbit to allow me to save the links and save my notes and my thoughts across the web. Because I currently use my messaging. I just text myself a link and then I lose it. I can't find it. I'm also implementing a voice notes feature so I can just speak into it, get a transcript, and use AI to actually make sense of what I'm thinking and what I'm saying. I'm often creating content online, so this especially will be a huge help for me. But I don't know. I think I like the brown. I don't know. It's so organic and minimal and warm and cozy. The brown really brings the color in your eyes. In my eyes? What? Okay. What is Claude Opus and why does it use 10x? Great question. Let's take a look at it. I don't want to keep. Okay, so I'm going to keep this, but I'm going to stash the changes. I'm not going to do a commit. So let me stash that and then let's go to that Claude question. Git stash. Okay. Whoa. So actually, you see how it changed back to the white and all that stuff. I think I actually do like the brown, and I think I will be using the brown, honestly. Um, because just seeing it like this versus what it was before, I'm like, wow, the brown is actually nicer. So I won't play with it right now, but I think I will apply it. Okay, so what is Claude Opus and why does it use 10x? Great question. Let's Google. So, Claude Opus. So Claude Opus is Anthropic's most intelligent model to date, pushing the frontier in coding, agentic search, and creative writing. So Claude Opus was recently released. It's their latest model. Oop, let me just zoom in so you can see. There we go. Hope that's better. So Claude Opus, this is just their latest model for you to use. And it's also their most expensive model. And so that's why it costs 10x the tokens, right? So that's why. Price for Cloud Opus 4 starts at $15 per million input tokens and $75 per million output tokens with up to 90% cost savings. Oh, Mr. Cost Asia. Huh. So let's go to GitHub models in VS Code. No, not GitHub models. Let's do Copilot models. Supported AI models in Copilot. So if I come here, I can see Claude Opus 4. Agent mode is not available here. It's in ask mode and edit mode, which is great because edit mode is similar to agent mode, but edit mode is great for when you're trying to do just little bite-size code changes versus agent mode is great for building full features. So Opus 4 is available in agent mode, which is great. And this is a really handy table that tells you about all the models and how they're supported in VS Code and GitHub Copilot. Just zoom in somewhere. The brown makes it feel more welcoming. I agree, Tarika. I think I will be keeping the brown, and I think I will apply that vibe across the other pages. But you see how useful that tip is to just take a concept that you like or take a design that you like and say, "Hey, help me. I think I'm going to apply this." Oh yeah, I think I do like the brown. I think I will keep the brown. So I just applied it here and yeah, I'm into it. Okay, so right here it looks like this doesn't go down all the way. So I'll have to fix that. I do have a lot more bugs to fix, but we didn't get through a lot. But earlier, remember when I assigned that issue to Copilot Coding Agent? Let's take a look at what it's done before we wrap up here. So I did enhance searching and filtering, which is awesome. So I actually did quite a bit here. And now I'm gonna look at the I think I do like the brown. What color should I make the buttons? I don't like the blue. It's just so in my face. Should it be a brown? I don't know. What color goes with brown? I have no idea. But let's take a look at the work that our coding agent hopefully did here. Copilot requested your review. Ooh. So this means it finished implementing the voice recording feature. Wow. So let's see what the PR says. So the PR, let me zoom in so you can see. Okay. What's the GitHub URL? Let me just pop it up here so you can hear. All right. So this PR implements complete voice recording functionality to replace the coming soon placeholder. So features, audio recording, real-time timer, permission management, local storage. Persist using async storage following existing app patterns. Existing app patterns uses async storage and Superbase, but we can do that as well. Audio playback system, custom audio player component. Okay, I want to see this. What time is it? If you have time, stay, but let's see. Let's see what this looks like. Let's see what agent mode did. UI implementation matches design specifications. All right, so let's take a look. What branch is this? So copilot slash fix dash 2 is the branch. And so for reference, this is the design I gave Copilot Coding Agent to implement. So let's see what it did. Let's see what it did. All right, so this is the design. Isn't this designed beautifully though. Claude did this for me. I use the Claude app to get this design, and I really like it. I couldn't have designed this for sure. Okay, so let me pull this brand Copilot slash fix dash 2. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. So I do like the brown, so I'm going to keep the brown. I think I'm keeping the brown, and I will go in and apply it to other pages. So this is our bugs branch, and just make sure that nothing's there. And then let's do a git pull so we can pull down that new branch. Okay, new branch. So I just want to switch to this branch. So git pull origin da da da. Wait, no, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do git switch. Sorry. There we go. So of course the use search hook isn't on the Claude branch because we had just implemented that locally. And the search bar isn't there as well because we just implemented that locally. That's fine. But now that I've switched, I kind of want to, I'm going to stop the server and I'm just going to restart the app and hopefully it runs. Let's see what Copilot Coding Agent did for us in terms of the recording page. Okay, so let's do an install. Let's see. Do you have hope that it's going to work? I don't know, man. Look at all these errors. Overriding peer dependency. It's honestly, it's always something with Expo. I'm not even gonna lie. Could not resolve dependency from this. Conflicting peer dependency. React Native found types React 18. Fix the upstream depends the conflict or retry this commit with that's just for da 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 da. I'm going to risk it. It's a different branch, so let's just give it a go. I'll have to figure out what's going on later. Okay, so that did it. Let's see if we can run the app. I don't know if it's going to run. All right. Let's see. Install using legacy peer depths. Yeah, I just did that. Can you please share the same GitHub link in the comment section? Oh, of course. You see what I mean? Every time I start the app, I'm already logged in. I've already done the onboarding, but I keep seeing the onboarding. That's another bug I need to fix. Vibe coding, am I right? So here is the repo link. Where am I? Here and here. So here's the repo link here. Feel free to fork it, please don't, if you see something that you can fix, feel free to submit a pull request. I do believe I protected the main branch, so please, no bad actors, please. This is a personal project, please. Look at that. Record your first note. Do you think it will work? Let's take a look at the code. Audio player is one new. Well, let's give it a go. Let's see. Would like to access microphone. Access microphone. Is this working? Hello there. Welcome to the Rubber Duck Thursday stream. Voice note saved successfully. Where is it? Did you see that? It's like it's saved, but it didn't. Testing 1, 2, 3. Does this work? I'm just like trying to see the flow again. You see it's here, but then it disappears. Do you see that? So it tried to do something, but I think I need to come in here and figure out what's going on. But actually I can actually come in here and I can say, where is the this is the PR, yeah. I mean, look at that. This is the design and this is the app. That's pretty good. And even for this, um, that's also, yeah. I mean, I need to come up here and fix something that's going on here, but this is actually pretty good. It's, doing it according to the design, which is great. Recording complete. Do you want to save it? Yes. But now I need to figure out why it's not saving. So I can come in here and I can actually add a comment to Copilot Coding Agent. It doesn't save. Instead, it goes back to show me the record first note page. I can't, sometimes whenever I'm doing these things, streaming, I can't think about the words. Can you look into that? And I can leave a comment and then Copilot's gonna come in here. I think it's gonna put like an emoji here that says, "Hey, I see your comment." And it's gonna go ahead and work on updating that for me. Isn't that cool? I love that. So while I was fixing bugs below, Copilot was working on implementing a brand new feature, which is amazing. Okay. You could have it upload the audio file to a cloud bucket so you can access it across multiple devices. Exactly. That's exactly what I plan to do. That's exactly what I plan to do. You could have it, yeah, that's exactly what I plan to do. But for now, I just want to get it working locally and then I can move forward. But I think that's the stream, girl. I think that's the stream. What do you think about my app? Do you like it? Is this something you would use? Should I productize it? I did find there's one link saver app in the App Store that I saw, and I think they earn like $11,000 a month, which is insane. Which is insane that people pay for this, but I mean, it's a pain point, right? It has a valid reason. Okay, let's see. Two things. You don't write a God path or in your function may you have a mistake saying execute that, not that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna be something like that. So I just have Copilot looking at it. Hey Juan, nice to see you on the stream. Misses you, honestly. Great app. Awesome. Cool. Sell it and retire. You know what I mean? Is vibe coding the solution to get a farmhouse in the countryside? I like the vibe of it. Awesome. Awesome. Me too. And I think I really do like the brown. There's just something. Oh, this is a different branch. I was like, where did the brown go? There's just something about that brown that just really makes me feel like warm and cozy. I think the app is called Bugs, and then I can run it again. That just makes me feel warm and cozy. Really cool stuff. I love it. Awesome. I'd rather retire on the beach. Yes, actually, the beach sounds excellent. As a Jamaican girly, yes, the beach sounds excellent. Did I not apply the let's reload it. Did I not apply the brown here? I thought I saved it. You see, every time I have to go through this, I have to fix that. The brown is so nice. Yes, I think we shall keep the brown. Okay. No, vibe coding is not the solution. Why? Why are you against the vibes, Nimi? Tell me. try black or gray on the buttons. I'll try it. I'll figure it out. You're awesome, Dad. Lady Kerr is your GitHub to follow you. Yes, that's it. Lady Kerr on GitHub. The brown vibe is the best. I agree. I like the brown. I would use this app if I saw the brown design because it just feels calm and inviting. But I think that's the stream for today, y'all. I think that's all I have. I hope you learned something. Let me turn on the little music thingy that I really like. I hope you learned something today. I hope you're using GitHub Copilot. I personally love it. It's amazing. Wait, you work at GitHub? Yes. This is a GitHub official stream, y'all. Thank you for joining. Hope to see you next week. There is another Rubberduck Thursday stream going on later this afternoon, and it's for our Latam audience, so it'll be in Portuguese. There are people still opposed to AI. I know. You know, I feel like for me, AI. So like, I know AI has been around for eons, right? Decades, years. But I feel like all of a sudden it was just AI. If that makes sense. So I think that's why people are a little opposed to it, because they didn't really have a choice in the matter, and now it's being applied everywhere. You know what I mean? But yes, I do work at GitHub. This is a GitHub stream. I'll see you next Thursday. This was fun. Keep it up. Yeah. How does one get into GitHub? I know. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. But thanks for joining. See you next week. Have a good day. Bye.